Good morning. We are back out at the farm. We had about a half an inch of rain, so the strip tow bar definitely will not run today. But we got some odds and ends to take care of here on the farm. We got to go pick up that baby truck we dropped off. We've got to get this Kenworth into the shop, get those lines fixed and all that. It's been sitting here since the harvest has been over, so we've got a lot of work to do yet around the farm here. So that's what we're going to be sticking around doing today. Keep an eye on how dry the fields you're going to get today. There's a farm show pretty close to us for the next couple days. We're probably going to end up going to that tomorrow. Well, the baby truck is officially home. I'll probably wait to hook it up because this grease is a little wet from the rain, and I gotta grease the plate anyway before I hook it up. But it is home. We have a truck. We can haul grain now if we need to. Now we just need to get the main truck up and running, which means we gotta get that in the shop, fix those air lines. We've got some coolant hoses to put on, things like that on that truck. Other than that, we do need to finish cleaning up around those dryers as well. There isn't much left to do on those dryers. Like I said, we still got to clean out those sidewalls and stuff like that and get the corn knocked out of it. All cleaned up and taken out to the field, because what's left is pretty much manure by now. I guess the first place to start, we got to clean up a few things before we can get a truck in here. It has been a couple days since I last shot that video of us putting that truck in the shed. Basically just got it in the shed. We haven't really done anything to it yet. We had a few seed salesmen show up and we had some business to take care of that night. And then the next day was the farm show, and we ended up going to that because we had some rain and stuff like that, so we couldn't even run anyway. And we wanted to go there. We had a few questions to ask and stuff like that. So now today we think we can run. It is pretty cold, about 25 out, somewhere in there. My dad is running the ripper right now, so he thinks I can run. I've got a wagon behind me. I'm pulling it to a new field. For the fertilizer, I got to get the strip tow bar over there. I got to call and get some fertilizer over the wagon. That's what's going on today. See, this is what we needed to get this trash off of here. It is about 45 mile-an-hour winds, absolutely just blowing out of control. And look at that, all the residue just flying across the street, getting off the field. Should be able to cruise through this without bunching up. Well, we were at the farm, all moved and ready to go. It is very windy outside, so I'm trying to avoid shooting video out there. So we've got the fertilizer coming into the cart now. I've got a problem on the back of the bar. Where that spring was broke on that basket, well, I forgot about it. And when I folded this wing up, that basket flipped down and crushed one of the tubes on the back of the bar. So I think I can just cut it off with a hacksaw and it should be okay. I should be able to just set it back down on there, but we gotta wait for my dad to get here, give me fuel, and he'll have a hacksaw in the back of the truck and we can take care of that. Show you what I was talking about. As you can see, it's not supposed to be pinched like that. It's cold. that's fixed.
Yeah,
That was easy. Oh, there's a bunch of grass along this side of the field. It's already starting to pile up on the 8th row on the end there. So I'm gonna have to watch that constantly until I make it past that. Well, we've officially finished our corn acres. It's getting pretty cold now, the ground's getting pretty hard. I'm gonna shut it down, and tomorrow we should be working on a Kenworth, because I don't think we can be in the field after tonight. It's supposed to get super cold. Ground's gonna be too hard. I've probably got about 400, no. We've got a lot of bean acres left to do with this strip till bar, but we're gonna have to wait until it gets fit. Hopefully we get some warm days here in December, maybe January, but it's hit or miss here in Illinois. If not, we'll have to wait until spring. But anyway, I am shutting her down for tonight. We are in the red tractor this morning. I'm going to take it home. Dad just dropped me off. He is done ripping here. He did a little bit of this bean ground here because this is where we're pulling with the trucks and everything, and so he wanted to make sure that compaction was out of the ground. So this piece of equipment is done. We would love to have a new ripper because this guy is so tail heavy, and it doesn't do the best job, but we don't use it very much. You know, I think we only ripped like 200 acres this year, so it just doesn't get used enough. We don't really need to replace it. That strip till bar, we're doing pretty much all our acres. Well, not all our acres, but we're doing the majority of our acres with strips, and other than that, it's just bean ground that we're hitting with a finisher in the spring. So hopefully, maybe next year, we'll be 100% strip till. And we kicked around the idea, instead of upgrading to like a 12 row or 16 row bar, just buy a second 8 row strip till bar, outfit this 305 with auto steer and a monitor, and Dad and I can both just be running strips in the fall. Get the same amount done as a 16 row bar, and then that way spring rolls around, all the strips are done, we're ready to plant. We don't have to worry about running the finisher. Probably just sell the soil finisher. Not gonna run very fast for right now. Transmission's a little cold. We're gonna wait until she warms up a little bit before I start running 25 mile an hour. Because I really didn't sit and let it idle there for very long, but not a big deal, we're in no hurry. I don't think I can run today. Got down to about 15 degrees last night. The ground is definitely hard. We're gonna have to wait for a better day to make any strips. Today we're gonna be working on the Kenworth, placing some lower hoses for the coolant and getting that airline fixed finally. It's been a busy couple of days. Anytime we try and get work done on that Kenworth, it seems like we've got plenty of visitors, which is a good thing. At least people still like us. They still show up to talk, but we do need to get that Kenworth buttoned up because we could start hauling today if we had a truck. Well, he didn't reach the very top there, did he? Huh? He didn't reach the coupler up here, did he?
Yes, he did. He had his hands up there when he was looking.
Really? This guy needs to come off. Say again?
Side cuts.
Side cuts, okay. Oh, I don't know why. There we go. Really need to get this toolbox transferred. Okay, 22. We'll try it.
I'm afraid you're gonna break that fitting.
Nonsense. Oh, look at that.
Yep, and that is a flare fitting. Okay, so
No, if only the top side was that easy.
yeah, mine's done. I don't know. We may have to take the whole air cleaner housing off.
Possibly. Well, do you have a stubby 32?
Oh, sure I do.
Because I mean, I can get the wrench on it. I can't turn it. That's not what I wanted. Am I close?
So you're on the back side of it now, towards the. Okay, there you go. Wow. A truck mechanic is nuts. And that clamp's got to come off because it's trying to something else.
I don't know if I can get up to it. Oh gosh. Okay, she's free. Well, I think I need a place to set this nut.
There you go. She'll come right out of there now.
Oh yeah, just slide right out of there. I gotta get this heat shrink off of here. This heat wrap off of here. There's that. Okay, that end's free. Now you can start pulling.
That's all I got.
More than enough. Chewy. We are out.
I think we can leave a little extra.
Oh yeah.
Jobs.
Yeah.
Figure out which way it's going.
Well, now we get to fish this through up to the compressor there. What happened to the markets?
They slaughtered them today.
Really?
40 cents down on beans, 17 on corn or something like that.
Good land. Probably because I was thinking about selling.
Well, if I told your mom when I saw the markets yesterday before 5 o'clock, I would have sold all my stored beans.
Yeah, they were up like 20 cents, weren't they?
They closed at 14.69 and a half, and I knew 14.70 was resistance number, and I didn't see it until after 5 o'clock.
Looky there. Beautiful. Ready?
Huh?
Ready?
Ready to come up there?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
oh, this is such a lovely place. Now come up a more. See if you can give me. Oh, hold on.
So that is tight?
Yep, we are getting about snug.
I just wanted to say a quick thank you to all those guys that are subscribing and liking the videos. I didn't think it would really come down to thousands of people watching, but again, I just wanted to thank everybody out there that is watching these videos, and I hope you enjoy them. We made it to the farm and the plans have changed. We were gonna finish up that Kenworth, just get the lower hoses on. We got the airline all finished up, so that shouldn't be a problem anymore, but We've got some coolant lines that we got to replace. We don't need to. It's got a small leak and we'd like to get it fixed if we can. So we're just gonna go ahead and replace them all, and that way I just don't have to worry about it. I've got the fertilizer wagon behind me. I'm gonna go ahead and cart it over to a new farm. I've got about 60 acres to do on that farm. That is the agenda for today. Just finish that 60 acres and then possibly button up that Kenworth later tonight. Well, we got the wagon here. We're gonna go ahead and check to see how hard this ground really is. Oh yeah, she'll run. She's just busting apart. Go ahead and get my fertilizer guy on his way. Go get the strip till bar and we'll get this field done. Apparently last night, right before I got done, I must have had the bar up kind of on a hill or something like this. See how that shank's touching the ground? I just must not have had it lifted enough, and I backed up and plugged some of these knives. Luckily, since we have these sensors on here, if those shanks get plugged, the fertilizer shoots through here and the sensor won't sense the fertilizer. So it'll tell me, okay, that shank is plugged. But the fertilizer still comes out. It just runs on top of the ground instead of going in the shank, so we're not losing any fertilizer. That's the nice part. But I didn't see the sensors tell me, hey, they're plugged, so I must have done it right as I quit the other night. So I need to kind of dig up in here and get them flowing again. See how that's caked up with mud? That's what was going on. The other rows had mud caked up on them too. They just kind of bounced out while I was going down the road, which I figured they would. That's why I decided to drive here before I cleaned these out. Also, yeah, the ratchet strap doesn't stay. I just put that on there so that when I folded this didn't flip back again and crush this line. It had to be that is what crushed that line. I just went ahead and ratchet strapped it so that I could fold it up and take down the road. That's got to be taken off. Should be able to fly 7.5 miles an hour. All the trash on this field looks like it's already blown out. I mean, you can see it all over the ground, just in the grass here. This particular farm is like a black sand, so it's usually right in between. No matter what happens, it's usually pretty good. If it gets too dry, it's not complete sand to where it just burns up and kills everything. It's got a little drought resistance, but if it's a lot of rain, it does amazing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started on this mess. These strips are looking great, and we are pulling it at 7.5 miles an hour. All we've got is from here to the tree line. We are gonna get out, check our strips, even though they look good from the cab. I just want to get out and make sure. These are some of the best strips I've made this year. The cover crops are coming up. They look good. Just a little word of advice, definitely do not plant the cover crops after you've done your strips. Plant them before you do your strips, because then you can actually see your strips. We made the mistake of putting our strips down, having them plant. Obviously you don't really want them running over your strips anyway, but it's very hard to see your strips in the spring, because obviously once it rains and snows and all that and mellows out these berms to where they're flat, return back to their original color. The reason they're so black now is because I'm pulling the moisture out with the berms. It looks black, but anyway, yeah, it's very tough sometimes to see your strip through those cover crops. Since we planted the cover crops first, or had them seeded first, now that I'm stripping, I'm ripping out what's grown, we should be able to clearly see our strip next season. Everybody's different, and certain bars do a different job, but this particular bar, you're definitely better off just wait until they're seeded and then make your strips. We are officially done with that field. I'm gonna be moving to 120 acres, quite a ways away again, so It just started raining a little bit. Scared me. You do not want that fertilizer getting wet. So I had to run and make sure that tarp was tightened down. They didn't have it tight, and the rain was getting in the front of the cart. And I had my tanks open too, because I was loading. So I just stopped loading. I was almost full anyway. Not gonna take that chance. Not gonna get done here tonight anyway. Dad showed up with the ripper. He's done with what he needs to do with the ripper, and so he's coming to all these fields and just ripping the entrances where we loaded trucks. Or this particular field is it's 120 acres, but we've got a creek running through it that splits it into like a 50 and a 70. That creek only has one spot that you can go over, and so we've got a track, or basically a road made from how much we were pulling the grain cart over that creek and over to this entrance. So he's working up that road now with the ripper. He's trying to get this entrance done, which I'm kind of in his way. So we'll get out of his way here and he can do his job. Well, it's certainly a lot stickier than I thought it would be. And it is raining for some reason. Let's hope it stays a light sprinkle and eventually goes away. So that rain made my stalks, or my trash, a little soggy. Guess what happens? We get pileups and we make a mess. Oh my goodness gracious. The rain is not quitting, so I'm gonna go park this thing.
I did it.
Well, I hopped in the 305 with Dad there for a minute while I was waiting for him to get done, and I just rode back with him back to the farm. I just finished dropping him off at the truck here at that field I started at, and I am on my way home. We really need to get that Kenworth buttoned up because we have to start hauling Monday. We'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully I can run tomorrow. If not, next time you see me, we'll be buttoning up that Kenworth and starting to load some trucks, getting them into town.